I've told you how Alberta's NDP Premier Rachel Notley has effectively given Quebec's Liberal Premier Philippe Couillard a veto over whether Alberta can build oil pipelines. Notley doesn't support oil pipelines herself, she's made that clear, but she says she'll bargain with the Quebec Liberals and let them set conditions for Alberta's pipelines, like Alberta adding more anti-oil taxes in the form of cap and trade. Except that in Canada, one province can't tax another province, one province can't block another province's commerce by blocking railroads or highways or pipelines or ports. Those are matters properly decided by the federal government in our Constitution. Rachel Notley is voluntarily assisting a Quebec Liberal who's committing a stick-up in broad daylight. But not Brad Wall, Saskatchewan's premier, who more even than Alberta depends on exports for his province's economy. He sees what's going on here because it's not just Alberta that's going to lose, Saskatchewan will too. Here, listen to his comments yesterday. First, he points out how our Canadian ethical oil is morally superior to OPEC conflict oil that Quebec imports. Here, listen to this.
Can you imagine Saudi Arabia releasing an energy strategy for their country and listing wind energy ahead of their oil assets? I mean, it just doesn't, obviously you've got to include wind. We have a significant wind capacity and industry in the country. But they just wouldn't do that. I mean, they also wouldn't care as much about the environment as Canadians do, and so yes, that has to be part of the energy strategy. But let's just step up and say this is a good thing. What Newfoundland, Alberta, and Saskatchewan have, what BC has in gas, is a good thing for the country. Let's develop it sustainably. Let's move it across the country and get the best price we can for Canadians.
Say, when did Quebec ever say to Saudi Arabia, we won't import your oil unless you meet certain political demands? What a laugh. They buy from a terrorist supporting dictatorship with no questions. They only have questions for ethical Canadian oil. But here's Wall's second point. He sometimes quips that maybe if Western Canada sent its transfer payments to Ontario and Quebec via a pipeline, then the East would like pipelines a bit more. But it's a serious point. Kathleen Wynne and Philippe Couillard live high off the hog because Alberta and Saskatchewan and BC bail them out with transfer funds, with oil money. Here, listen to that from Brad Wall.
What does oil, what are the energy sector, what has it funded in the past in this country? What can it fund going forward? The natural resource sector, one of those things is equalization, and everyone is happy to receive those payments, as Saskatchewan was. We were grateful to. And so hopefully they'll also be happy to approve projects that support the very program that benefits provinces in terms of transfers.
10 years ago, would you ever have thought that Canada's best premier, best economy, and clearest advocate for free enterprise would be from Saskatchewan? And that the most anti-oil socialist premier would be from Alberta? Yeah, me neither. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.